What is going on, boys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about how I maxed this painful ass grind, and that being, if you saw the thumbnail, Glacite powder. Woo! Finally done with Glacite powder, yeah! If you didn't know, Glacite powder maxes at about 20 mil for actual Skyblock XP. I didn't get to 20 mil, I believe I'm like 200k short, but oh my god, does this grind absolutely suck. So let's get into how I did it and some tips for you guys when you inevitably do this grind. Before we get into it, I do want to ask you guys to please scroll down and subscribe. We are going for 30k and the YouTube rank. Every subscription helps me out immensely. I also stream at twitch.tv/theogyadi, so make sure to check me out there. Let's get into the video. You get YouTube rank by the end of summer. You'll do a 3-build giveaway since you're bored. Boys, wait. Let me reiterate that. If I get YouTube rank by the end of summer, Scaps will donate and give away 3 billion coins. Ball's in your court. So first things first, before we actually get into Glacite tunnels themselves, I do want to just give a quick reminder of where we're at. We are at 66 out of 100 XP at level 454. 2 levels off of max number 82. I just got past. I was number 81. But all I really have left, as you can see, is Hypixel Hunt, which is AFK. Class average, which, you know, you're going to have to grind normally. And then Bestiary. You know what I have left in Bestiary? Catacombs Bestiary. And also Crimson Isle Minis. But, you know, these are actually almost done. So it's just Catacombs Bestiary. And I'm going to be doing Catacombs Bestiary at the same time as class average. So as soon as I finish Crimson Isle Minis, all I have left is dungeons. I truly have saved it for the last part of the game. It truly is the most end game of experiences. But actually taking a look at powder itself. So the old method that a lot of people use to max powder, which I don't think I'm one of the first ones to max it without using scrap. Or I think I am one of the first ones. I don't know if I am the first one. But what a lot of people used to do is they would just purchase mass amount of scraps. It costed like a bill, I don't know, 2 bill. And you just sit here and you fossil excavate the whole time. Unfortunately, due to a recent patch to Glacite tunnels, scraps have a much lower chance to contain fossils as well as Glacite powder itself. So bam, Glacite powder again, that method, just paying for Glacite powder, gone. So what was I to do? Well, if you take a look at the Royal Pigeon, every single com actually gives 1,000 Glacite powder per. That's pretty good. You can do about 3 comms a minute on average. But as you can see, daily Heart of the Mountain bonus, an extra 5,000. Daily bonus perk, an extra 4,000. So that's 10,000 Glacite powder a day. Combined together, that's 40,000 Glacite powder a day. With times 2 powder, that's 80,000 Glacite powder a day. With the Glacite Golem, that's 96,000 powder a day just doing 4 comms. But again, if you can do 3 comms a minute, that's 3,000 powder a minute. Now, instead of actually using the Glacite Golem, because I could have been getting 3,600 powder a minute. You might ask, well, why wouldn't you use Glacite Golem? Well, I was leveling G-Drags. In fact, I finished leveling this G-Drag and my Antique Remedies G-Drag. So I finished 2 G-Drags during this grind and got another egg to level 98. That is a lot of pet XP. Grinding comms is actually the strongest way of leveling any pet. So if you want to be able to level any pet, doesn't matter if it's mining, whatever it is, other than, you know, probably don't level alchemy pets this way, or like the guardian pet this way, this is by far the strongest way to level pets. If you are curious, I had to do 13,695 comms to finish this. I think about 11,000 were done with Glacite tunnels. I think I had about 2,700 before I started Glacite tunnels, and that's a lot of comms. To go along with that, I leveled a lot of pets. I also got a lot of mining experience. So my mining experience caps out at about 530 mil. If I wanted to, I could go for 1 bill. Probably wouldn't even take that long. Probably would take like 2 weeks if I actually grinded it. But that just doesn't sound fun. Why would I do this? Towards the end of the grind, what I did start doing is I did start buying keys. So I was gambling skeleton keys for Vanguard, hopefully trying to get a locket. If you make them yourself instead of actually buying them, you see how raw craft cost is 36 mil. You can actually save a ton of money and most of the time come out with profit if you get actual crystals. Like I sold a lot of perfect paradox, a lot of perfect onyxes, and towards the end I also started buying umber and tungsten keys. And, you know, I'm kind of happy I did, because sometimes you open a Lapis Corpse to get 13k powder. Well, I would always open corpses with Glacite Golem out, so that's a bonus, I don't know, 2k, 3k powder. But if you open a Vanguard Corpse, you get 50k powder, and that's a bonus 10k powder. That's a lot of bonus powder just off of Glacite Golem itself. One thing to note is on Alpha, they're actually changing the way powder works with corpses. Because powder is now guaranteed, you have no chance of rolling for bonus powder, which is actually absolutely going to kill going for Lapis Corpses, because that would be a big way. You hop into your mine shaft, you go get your Lapis Corpses. If you get lucky, you get about 20k powder. Now, if you get lucky, sometimes that doesn't happen. But now, if you get 3 Lapis Corpses, you're only guaranteed 15 or 1.5k powder. It would be faster to even ignore the mine shaft. As soon as you warp in, you see 3 Lapis, oop, I'm gone. I know you can make money, but that I think is a little rough of a change. If you guys are curious for other strategies I used, obviously I have waypoints. I've had these waypoints linked in my Discord. They're from my Glacite Tunnels video, but if you guys are curious, these are some of the most common spots, and you'll learn where things are. Like, sometimes the waypoints wouldn't load in, and you'd still know exactly where they are as you're going. Like, for example, a really strong spot is this back left, and unfortunately a lot of people know about it. So there's Onyx right here, there's Citrine right here, and then there's also Peridot, although this is a very common spot to mine out. You see this Peridot is mined out. But if the Onyx is ever mined out, you can go straight up here on this bridge, and boom, there's all this Onyx. If you end up getting an Aquamarine com out of it, you can go straight over here, and usually this isn't mined out, and you can get yourself some Aquamarine. And then, as always, you can always warp back to the beginning. Like, if that spot of Peridot is mined out, you can warp back to the beginning, and bam, Peridot over here. Although this spot does look to be mined out. There's probably enough for a com in there, but it is really annoying. One of the most annoying parts of this grind are having these Nons, these Yogg Nons, making about 15 mil an hour with their Gauntlet of Contagion, mining out all the Peridot. And here's the thing about Peridot. If you mine it all out, and there's nobody else in Glacite Tunnels, and it tries to respawn, it won't. It'll glitch out. It won't respawn. You'll just, so, like, I've run into several of those lobbies where most of the Peridot, it's not even that people are just constantly farming the Peridot, it's just that it's not respawning. Like, I could, for the rest of this video, while I talk about everything else, while I'm yapping, I could sit in this area and I can almost guarantee that none of these gemstones are going to respawn because it's glitched out. Admins, can we fix this? Can this be a priority instead of threatening to patch pearls and dungeons and then going back on it, which kudos to you guys. I'm glad you guys listen to the community, but my god. But yeah, if you do want the waypoints, you'll learn as you go, but if you do want the waypoints, feel free to join the Discord. It is somewhere in the Discord, somewhere in the information section. I don't remember exactly where, but you generally do want to learn at least 2 spots for each kind of gemstone, because Peridot is obviously the most common one, but sometimes Onyx will be mined out, sometimes Citrine will be mined out. Usually this back left corner has 3, the back right corner has 3. You can see Citrine over there, Onyx, Aquamarine, and then obviously Peridot towards the front. So I'm pretty sure I want to say there's 3 spots for each individual gemstone. I only ever use 2. If I check both Peridot spots and Peridot's gone, I'll just lobby swap. Now, if I have a ×2 powder, that sucks, because that's a lot of powder I'm missing out on. Instead of 1k, actually, what I would use is I would use Glacite Golem during ×2 powder, because instead of 1k per com, I would be getting 2.4k per com, because it also is the plus 20% from the Glacite Golem. My rates were actually anywhere from 300,000 powder an hour to 750k powder an hour without any downtime. Like, if I'm going AFK or if I'm streaming and talking in chat, usually I'll have a little bit of downtime. 750k is usually from ×2 powder, as well as just getting lucky with mineshafts and getting good corpses. But otherwise, you don't lose a ton of money from opening corpses. I think I broke about even for Vanguard and for Tungsten. But that's not from opening themselves. That's from also, like, farming the stuff, like farming gemstones, and, like, just basically my purse hasn't moved, if that is a simpler way of saying it. So between the intake of grinding all the comms and making all that money, and now I haven't sold a G-Drag, so my purse will definitely go up from selling the G-Drag, but my purse really hasn't moved. This grind, I've been going for, I took about a week off when Glacite Tunnels came out, and I maxed it out now, so what, that's like 3 weeks since Glacite Tunnels came out. It took me to max powder. Much slower than a lot of people, but, you know, I didn't use scrap. I wish they would add a use for the last 5,000 powder, like this 4.6 I have, instead of just Skyblock XP, because, you know, this is the tree I used. I don't think there's a better tree. All these are pretty terrible. I mean, you swap to that if you're ever doing scrap if you're an Iron Man, but if you're not an Iron Man, you should never be doing scrap just because it's not worth it. There's not enough bonuses anymore to actually find a way to do scrap. So I have this all max in 15.25 mil powder, but I have this 4.6 mil powder. What am I doing with this? I have more overflow Glacite powder than I do Mithril and Gemstone, which is kind of crazy. Now, what that really means is I just never mined Gemstones after I got max powder. I just didn't mine a lot because otherwise I'd have a ton overflow Gemstone powder. But as you can see, I've been talking for a couple minutes. It's been like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. None of this Peridot is respawning. It's not because people are mining it out. It's because it's bugged. We need to fix this. This needs to be a better kind of thing. If you're also curious in how I would level my G-Drags, is I would use a rod swap rule. It's really simple. It's when you throw fishing hook, equip whatever pet you want to level, and then when you gain mining XP, which I might, it's right here. When you gain mining XP, equip whatever pet you want to have on when you're mining. For me, I was using Scatha to do comms faster. The mining XP actually applies to this pet before it swaps to your Scatha. Now keep in mind, it only works for one comm at a time. So if you have multiple comms to claim, you can't claim multiple because only one of the comms is going to apply to your original pet because there's like a delay when swapping the pet. It wasn't a terrible grind. In fact, it was a lot of fun when Glacite Tunnels came out, but it gets horrendously boring and annoying, especially because of this and because of people mining your stuff the longer you go on. Like I would argue, I know you make money. I don't know if I would say it's worse than foraging, but it's pretty damn close. I would not recommend grinding it this way yourself unless you like mining. I would hope that they would make this a tiny bit easier or better or more fun when Glacite Tunnels V2 comes out, along with all of the new fishing bestiary that's going to follow that. Wait for them to make it baby easy mode because generally they do that with the tougher updates. But if you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, all that good stuff. I stream at twitch.tv/TheOGYadi. We're going for YouTube rank, baby. Let's keep it up. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.